Content Connect Africa CCA, as everyone knows it, is a 360 music agency with primarily business being in content aggregation, but a one-stop solution for the artists and musicians and labels of the continent, from the continent.
And you make most of your money currently from ringtones?
Absolutely.
And what kind of music have you got in your catalogue?
We represent all genres, from house to kwaito to gospel to traditional Zulu to Bekanga.
And you're both in South Africa and outside of South Africa in terms of music?
Mostly in South Africa. We're in 9 territories in the rest of the continent, and counting. We are moving into more territories every day.
And you've recently been bought by MTN. Tell me what that's about.
Yeah, MTN have bought a shareholding into the business. They are a shareholder with, and I think the whole reason behind that, we had a very interesting journey last year. I think that content has become strategically very much a part of the corporates, those that are in digital or in networks, part of their new business moving forward based on everybody moving to data. And I think that it's really going to set off the music industry from the continent in a whole different light, and make it sustainable for my artists and musicians and composers.
And on that very point, how, as an artist, do you deal with me? What's the way in which I can engage with what you can
engage with me? We have various services where you can come in with your label as an aggregator, for which you get, I mean, obviously a majority share. We are very, we're very fair in our deals. Or you have an option to sign to us as a recording artist within almost a label environment. So we're kind of defying the industry a little bit. Everybody's getting out of recording artists, and we're kind of getting more into it, specifically with a view to creating content in different territories.
And you're recording both people that are already on labels and people who don't have a label?
Oh, look, there's already a huge, as you know, sustainable label, independent label business in Africa. So we like to work with them as partners as opposed to signing up the artists. But there are a lot of artists that don't have the opportunity or the money or the resource to record, who have great potential, and that's where we are offering them opportunities, mostly in a single-based business, not an album-based business, to come into the studios and record.
And which international platforms have come into the continent?
Well, there's a lot. We know that iTunes is here, Spotify is coming, you know, we've heard Pandora's coming, Simfy is here.
And Pandora is
it's a streaming radio service, yeah. Right. I think Deezer is also coming. Every day there's a new company, announcement. I mean, I know that I've certainly had a few meetings. There's a great new company which I find also quite exciting. It's called Yonder. Not sure if you're aware of them.
No, I've come across them.
So you'll come across, Google search them.
Yeah.
I think that they also offer more of a subscription-based model. So, which we've discussed. I quite believe that that's where our next big move is.
And why do you think subscription is going to be the thing?
Well, yeah, and again, it's my personal opinion. I think that streaming is kind of a database thing. You know, we don't all have access to the data. Subscription-based allows us to really budget. If I can spend R5 a week on music and get 5 tracks, that's what I'm going to do. But you know what? Next week I may have 20 Rand to spend to give me the option of buying a subscription or a bundle that works for me, as opposed to dictating that it's $69.99 a month and it's, you know, all you can eat bouquet. I'm not sure that, you know, I stand to be corrected. I think that we want to, if I'm a gospel listener, I may want to buy a subscription model that's based on the genre of music that I want to. If I'm a classic listener, that's what I want to do. But again, it's my personal opinion.
Yeah. And so, what do you make of the live streaming platforms that there are at the moment?
Again, I think that they're fantastic. I think that we've got to welcome every new bit of technology that can sustain the business. I still think that there's a data issue, shortfall. I know even with me, if I try and download anything longer than 10 minutes, I it could take 2 hours, 3
Yes.
hours, 6 hours.
Yeah.
So I think that we've still got a challenge, but we need to encourage it. I think it's going to be a great opportunity, and it's always creating content. What we have to be very, very, I think, cautious of is that the precedents that need to get set, and we need to also really, really understand that everybody needs to be in the food chain, from the composer to the artist to the producer. That's how we're going to sustain content across the board. And at the moment, I'm not sure if there are precedents set on streaming and publishing and collection societies. I certainly know it's quite a new area.